Once upon a time, in a small town was Nia's salon. Nia has a magnetic presence and an aura that combines strength and softness, making her not just beautiful, but also deeply compelling. Also, in Nia's salon, with the atmosphere buzzing with laughter and lively chatter, you will see women gathered in cozy chairs, exchanging stories and sharing snippets of their lives as they settled in for their appointments. The warm, inviting space was filled with the comforting scent of shea butter and herbal tea, and the walls echoed with the sounds of joyful conversation. And there was something strange about her shop that people couldn't stop talking about. There were no mirrors. Women who came in had to sit and trust Nia completely, never seeing the result until the very end. They didn't mind though, because Nia's work was flawless and faster than anyone thought possible. Yet, as Nia worked her magic, weaving hair at an astonishing pace, there was an unspoken question that hung in the air. How did she do it? Some whispered among themselves, half-jokingly wondering if she had made a secret pact with the spirit or if her talent was rooted in something deeper, something mysterious. But what most people didn't know was that Nia had a dark secret. A djinni had cursed her family, and she was bound to it in ways she couldn't escape. And that was the secret behind her speed. Hidden in the shadows of the salon was a small demon, its nimble fingers working alongside Nia's. While it never harmed the customers, the demon wasn't a gift, it was a curse. Bound to her by an ancient family secret, the demon helped Nia braided customers' hair but kept her trapped, unable to live the life she had dreamed of beyond the walls of the salon. Despite the success she found in her craft, Nia felt trapped, her dreams slipping further away as the weight of the curse pressed down on her. In a town that had seen many hairdressers come and go was Nia. Some people said she appeared out of nowhere and set up shop in a dilapidated building that most people believed was beyond repair. But within weeks, she had transformed the place. New wooden floors, rich tapestries on the walls, and a constant sweet smell of shea butter and coconut oil in the air. The walls painted a soft ochre, adorned with colorful murals of women with all kinds of hairstyles, cornrows, bantu knots, and flowing braids. This was Nia's salon, the busiest and most talked about in the region, though not for reasons anyone might expect. Yet the most striking thing about the salon was what it lacked: mirrors. Nia's reputation grew quickly, her fame spreading even faster than she could twist and braid. Word spread that she had a magic touch, something beyond skill, something that made every woman who walked out of her shop feel like royalty. There was a certain energy that surrounded her salon, an energy of transformation, of confidence, of peace. You know what they say about customers. They remember how you make them feel, not what you say. Nia's customers always feel like a royalty after each visit to her salon. Women of all ages, from young girls to elderly grandmothers, lined up outside Nia's shop, eager to experience what everyone was talking about. Each woman who entered was met with the same experience. No mirrors, no self-conscious glances, as the stylist worked on their hair. Instead, they were told to trust Nia's hands and focus on how they felt, rather than how they looked. Some whispered that Nia was not just a stylist, but a healer, a descendant of the ancient Nawal women who had passed down their secrets from generation to generation. It was said that these women could read a person's soul through their hair, and Nia, they believed, had inherited this gift. But in the shadows of her success, there was a darker secret that haunted Nia, a secret that she could not share with anyone. However, there was an unspoken rule, a small sign placed just above the doorway as you entered Nia's salon, written in bold letters: "Leave your doubts at the door. Trust the hands of the artist." It wasn't just an encouragement, it was a rule. Nia made it clear from the start that if you walked into her salon, you did so ready to embrace the unknown. There would be no halfway measures. No checking on the progress halfway through. No mirrors meant no distractions. No anxieties about how each twist, braid, or part would look in the middle of the process. Not only are customers assumed to follow this rule, they also declare the contents of their purses and bags at the mini reception before entering the salon. Other times, they drop their purse or bags in a cabinet at the reception, going into the saloon with only the key to the cabinet. At first, newcomers were unsettled by this rule. There were no full-length mirrors propped against walls or handheld mirrors sitting on the counter. All that greeted them were the smiling faces of Nia and her assistants and the soft hum of laughter and conversation. "You trust a painter to finish a painting before you look," Nia would often say, her voice as smooth as the oils she worked into her client's hair. Why should hair be any different? But the reason no one knew, was because Nia feared what might be revealed if anyone looked too closely into her salon's secret. You see, Nia wasn't braiding alone. Hidden in the shadows of the back room, invisible to everyone but Nia herself, was a presence. A small, shadowy figure with long, nimble fingers and eyes that glowed faintly in the dark. This was the djinni, a strange demon bound to Nia from a past she wished she could forget. The djinni never harmed Nia's clients, never pulled too hard or made mistakes. In fact, it was the reason why Nia could braid hair so quickly and flawlessly. Where other stylists might take hours to complete intricate styles, Nia could finish in mere minutes, the djinni's hands moving so fast they were barely visible. But Nia had never wanted this help. The djinni had been passed down through her bloodline, a curse disguised as a gift, and although it never caused harm, it controlled her life in ways no one could see. One sunny afternoon, a young woman named Amma walked through the door, her face filled with uncertainty. She had heard the stories about Nia's salon for months, but had never believed them. When Amma entered Nia's salon, she hesitated. No mirrors? The thought sent a ripple of anxiety through her. She felt naked without the ability to see herself, to control her own image. Nia noticed the hesitation immediately. She was braiding another client's hair at the time, her hands moving fluidly through long, silky strands, but her sharp eyes darted towards Amma with understanding. "You must be Amma," Nia said, a knowing smile on her face. Amma nodded. "Yes, I heard about your salon, but I wasn't sure if..." Her voice trailed off, uncertainty hanging in the air. Nia's hands never stopped moving as she spoke. "You've come to the right place. Sit, my dear. There's nothing to fear here." Amma sat down in the chair, her back straight and tense. She glanced around the salon, searching for any sign of a mirror, but of course, there was none. "Why don't you have mirrors?" she asked, unable to contain her curiosity. Nia chuckled softly, finishing off the last braid of her current client. "Mirrors show you what the world sees, but I care more about what you feel inside. When you leave here, it's not just about the look. It's about the confidence you carry with you." The woman in her chair, a regular named Tola, animatedly recounted the latest news from her neighborhood. "You won't believe what happened at the market yesterday," she exclaimed, her eyes wide with excitement. Nia smiled, her hands a blur as she added beads and embellishments, encouraging Tola to go on while working with an efficiency that felt both mesmerizing and mysterious. Nearby, a group of women chimed in, their laughter rising and falling like music. They shared tips on beauty regimens, the best local eateries, and even the latest gossip about their favorite celebrities. The energy was infectious, and even as Nia focused on her work, she couldn't help but feel uplifted by the camaraderie surrounding her. She would occasionally glance up from her task, engaging with their banter, adding her own thoughts and sharing a few laughs. "Did you hear about the new restaurant opening downtown?" one woman asked, her voice bright with enthusiasm. "We should all go together." The idea sparked a wave of agreement, And soon they were discussing plans, exchanging phone numbers, and promising to meet up. As Nia began working on Amma's hair, she could feel the familiar presence stirring behind her. The jinni's fingers joined hers, unseen by Amma, working with inhuman speed and precision. Amma, unaware of what was happening, relaxed into the rhythm of Nia's hands, the gentle tug and twist of each braid lulling her into a trance. Without the distraction of a mirror, she focused on the sensation, the careful attention, the slight pressure as Nia parted her hair, the soothing strokes of a comb through her curls. Time seemed to stretch and compress all at once. Nia's voice, soft and steady, was a constant comfort as she hummed traditional tunes, filling the room with a calming energy. Other clients in the salon chatted and laughed, their voices weaving together like the braids in their hair. And all the while, the djinni worked silently, its glowing eyes watching Nia closely, reminding her of the price she paid for its speed. No one knew the full story of Nia's past, not even her closest friends. But the truth was that Nia hadn't always been a hairstylist. As a young girl, she had been a gifted artist, dreaming of traveling the world, painting landscapes and portraits. She had wanted to live a life free of constraints, exploring her creativity. But her family had other plans. The nimble gift ran deep in their bloodline, and with it came the curse of the djinni. Nia's mother had tried to warn her, but Nia had been stubborn, determined to break away from tradition. She didn't want to spend her life braiding hair, even if she was the best at it. One fateful night, during a heated argument with her mother, Nia had accidentally invoked the djinni, binding it to her soul. From that moment on, her life had changed. The djinni gave her the power to braid faster than any human could, but it also shackled her to the salon. It demanded her time, her energy, her dreams. While it never harmed her clients, it drained Nia, slowly eroding her spirit. She could never leave the town, never pursue the life she had once envisioned. The djinni's presence ensured that she stayed in the salon, bound to her craft, unable to live freely. And though she loved her clients and found joy in the transformations she offered, there was always a deep, gnawing sadness that accompanied each finished braid. As Nia finished Amma's hair, the djinni slipped back into the shadows, its task complete for the day. Nia placed her hands gently on Amma's shoulders, signaling that she was done. "Now," she said, her voice soft but commanding, "tell me how you feel." Amma hesitated, raising her hand to touch her hair. Instantly, she felt the intricate braids, each one perfectly in place, the soft sheen of the oils Nia had used, making her hair feel light and healthy. But it wasn't just the texture that surprised her. It was the way the style made her feel. For the first time in years, Amma didn't need a mirror to tell her that she looked beautiful. She knew it. After another long day of braiding hairs and making women feel beautiful and confident. Nia closed her shop and her assistants bid her goodbye, leaving Nia to walk slowly to her small, lonely house. She was indeed a successful hairdresser, much to the envy of other hairdressers around her. As Nia walked in the darkness of the night, reminiscing on the laughter and joy from her clients, deep inside she carried a sadness and fear she could never share. Every day, she worked quickly and perfectly, creating beautiful hairstyles that made her clients happy. Her clients praised her work, and people came from far away just to sit in her chair. But none of them knew the truth. Nia smiled for them, but inside she felt lonely. No one understood the cost of her skill, and every day the demon's shadow loomed closer. She feared the day when the curse would begin to take her life slowly, leaving her in pain and suffering, unable to do the very thing that had made her famous. After Amma's first visit, she couldn't stop thinking about how beautiful she had felt, inside and out, when she walked out of Nia's salon. It wasn't just the flawless braids or the way her hair seemed to shimmer in the sunlight. It was something deeper. There was a sense of calm and confidence she carried with her, a transformation that went beyond her appearance. So, she returned, again and again. Amma came like any other client, greeted with Nia's warm smile and steady hands. But over time, her visits became more than just about her hair. She would linger in the chair after her hair was done, talking with Nia about life, sharing her dreams and struggles. Nia, who had always kept herself at a distance from others, found herself opening up to Amma in ways she hadn't with anyone else. There was something comforting in Amma's presence, a kindness and curiosity that made Nia feel safe. Amma started coming by the salon even when she didn't need her hair done. She would bring Nia small gifts, shea butter from the market, fresh fruit, or a new fabric she thought would look nice in the salon. In return, Nia would make tea, and the two women would sit together in the quiet of the salon after all the clients had gone home, their conversations flowing easily. Amma was a dreamer, always talking about the adventures she wanted to have, the places she wanted to visit, and the art she wanted to create. Nia listened with a quiet ache in her chest, remembering her own dreams from long ago. As their friendship deepened, Amma could sense that there was more to Nia than met the eye. There were moments when Nia's smile didn't quite reach her eyes, when her hands seemed to tremble with an invisible weight. Amma never pushed, but she let Nia know that she was there to listen if Nia ever wanted to talk. Slowly, Nia began to open up about her past, though she never mentioned the djinni. She spoke of the dreams she had given up, the freedom she once craved, and the heavy responsibility she now carried. Amma listened with quiet understanding, never judging, only offering her support. Over time, Amma became more than just a friend to Nia. She became a source of light in her life. Nia, who had lived in the shadow of the djinni's curse for so long, found comfort in Amma's presence. Though she still carried the weight of her secret, the loneliness that had once consumed her began to fade. Amma's visits reminded Nia that there was still beauty in connection, still hope in friendship. And while Nia knew that she could never fully escape the curse that bound her, she found solace in the fact that she didn't have to face it alone anymore. Amma had sensed for a long time that there was something more to Nia's sadness. Their friendship had deepened over the months, and though Nia had shared pieces of her past, Amma always felt there was a deeper, darker story lurking beneath the surface. Nia's silence on certain matters, the haunted look in her eyes when she thought no one was watching, it all pointed to a secret too heavy to bear. But Amma never pushed. She simply waited, hoping that one day Nia would trust her enough to share the truth. That day came unexpectedly. It was a quiet evening after the salon had closed. Amma had come by, as she often did, bringing fresh hibiscus tea and some snacks. They sat in the soft glow of the setting sun, chatting about small things, when suddenly Nia's hands began to tremble. Amma noticed immediately. Nia had gone pale, her face contorted with pain. Without warning, she collapsed to the floor, gasping for breath. Amma rushed to her side, fear gripping her heart. "Nia! Nia! What's happening?" she cried, but Nia couldn't answer. She was struggling, clutching her chest, her body writhing as though something inside her was trying to tear free. Amma's mind raced, unsure of what to do, until she noticed the shadows in the room shifting unnaturally, as if they were alive. Then she saw it. In the corner of the room, where the light barely reached, a dark figure began to take shape. It was small, barely visible, but its glowing eyes locked onto Amma. Her heart pounded in her chest as she realized she was staring at something far more sinister than a simple shadow. The figure moved closer to Nia, its long fingers outstretched toward her, feeding on her pain, tightening its grip. Amma could hardly believe her eyes, but in that moment, the pieces of the puzzle fell into place. The strange absence of mirrors, Nia's unnatural speed when braiding, the weight of sorrow that always lingered around her. It was all because of this creature, the djinni. "Nia, what is this?" Amma whispered, her voice shaking. She wasn't sure if Nia could hear her, but the way Nia's eyes flickered with fear told her all she needed to know. This was the source of Nia's suffering. Amma's fear quickly turned to determination. She didn't know how to defeat a demon, but she knew she couldn't let it take Nia. "No," she whispered to herself, "I won't let this happen." With trembling hands, Amma reached out and grabbed Nia's hand, squeezing it tightly. She wasn't sure what to do, but she felt a surge of warmth rise in her chest, as if something deep inside her was waking up. "You're stronger than this, Nia. You don't need it anymore," she said, her voice growing steady. "You don't need the djinni. Let it go." The djinni hissed, its glowing eyes narrowing as it sensed the shift in the air. Amma's words seemed to reach Nia, and for the first time, she looked at Amma with hope, not fear. The demon snarled, its grip tightening on Nia's spirit, but Amma held on tighter, her own spirit refusing to back down. A strange light began to glow from Amma's hand, faint at first, then brighter. It pulsed with a warm, golden energy that seemed to push the darkness away. The djinni shrieked, recoiling from the light, its form flickering as if it was being burned by something it couldn't control. "Nia, you can break free," Amma urged, her voice rising with power she didn't fully understand. "You don't need it. You never did." Nia's body shook violently, but Amma's strength never wavered. She gripped Nia's hand tightly, focusing on that light, on the bond they had forged, on the belief that Nia could be free. The room was filled with a sudden rush of energy, like a storm of wind and light swirling around them. The djinni let out one final, ear-piercing shriek before it dissolved into the air, its dark form scattering like smoke in the wind. The shadows in the room retreated, and the tension that had filled the air vanished. Nia lay still on the floor, her breathing heavy but steady. Amma knelt beside her, still holding her hand, her own heart racing from what she had just witnessed. She didn't fully understand what had just happened, but she knew one thing for certain. The djinni's hold on Nia had been broken. As Nia slowly opened her eyes, tears welled up in them. For the first time in years, she felt light, free. The invisible chains that had bound her for so long were gone. How did you?" Nia whispered, her voice hoarse but filled with awe. Amma shook her head, still in disbelief herself. "I don't know," she admitted, her own voice shaking, "but I couldn't let it take you. You deserve to be free, Nia." The two women sat in the quiet of the now peaceful salon, the weight of the moment sinking in. Nia had been released from the demon's curse, not by magic or force, but by the strength of their friendship, the belief that she didn't need the djinni's power to be strong. And now, for the first time, Nia could live her life free from the shadows. Amma had always known she was different, but she never fully understood the extent of her lineage until that fateful night in Nia's salon. She was the descendant of a powerful dibia, a priestess of ancient knowledge and magic. Her ancestors had been revered for their ability to communicate with the spirit world, heal the sick, and protect their communities from malevolent forces. But Amma had chosen a different path, a life of adventure, exploration, and freedom. Rather than staying in a shrine and following the rigid traditions that her lineage demanded, she had ventured out into the world, seeking her own destiny. Growing up, Amma had listened to her grandmother's stories about their family's history, filled with tales of brave women who had wielded powerful magic. She admired their strength, but she always felt a pull toward the open road, toward experiences that could not be found within the walls of a shrine. Amma loved to travel, to meet new people, and to immerse herself in different cultures. It was a life that felt right for her, and she had no regrets about the path she had chosen. Yet, deep down, she always felt the weight of her ancestry, the knowledge that the magic still flowed through her veins, waiting for the right moment to awaken. That moment came unexpectedly when she entered Nia's life. As Amma spent more time with Nia, her instincts kicked in, and she sensed the darkness that lingered beneath the surface. The bond they formed allowed Amma to tap into the strength of her lineage, even if she had shied away from the responsibilities that came with it. As she held Nia's hand during the demon's attack, something awakened inside her. The magic of her ancestors surged forth, guiding her, empowering her to confront the djinni in a way she had never imagined possible. In that moment, Amma realized that her adventurous spirit did not mean she had to forsake her heritage. Instead, she had discovered how to use her gifts in a way that aligned with her values. She could be both a traveler and a protector, using her ancestral power to help others while living life on her own terms. As the djinni's shriek faded into silence and the weight of its hold on Nia lifted, Amma felt a sense of purpose wash over her. She understood now that her adventurous life and her powerful lineage were not separate but intertwined, giving her the strength to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As Nia slowly regained her strength, the two women shared a profound understanding. Nia, now free from the curse, could live her life fully, while Amma embraced her dual identity, adventurer and protector. Together, they would forge a new path, using their strengths to uplift one another and face whatever darkness might come their way. The bond they had created went beyond friendship. It was a partnership rooted in magic, courage, and the promise of new beginnings. The moral of this story is that true strength lies in the bonds we form with others, not in the secrets we carry or the extraordinary abilities we possess. Nia's magical speed in weaving hair symbolizes the unique gifts we each have, but the real power comes from the community, friendship, and shared experiences she cultivates in her salon. The story emphasizes that while personal talents are valuable, it's the connection with others and the ability to uplift one another that truly bring fulfillment and happiness. Additionally, the story teaches that embracing one's gifts, even when they come with burdens or secrets, can be balanced by the support of a strong community. It shows that no matter the mysteries we hold, the warmth and trust of friendships can provide healing and a sense of belonging. As the women in Nia's salon shared stories and laughter, they unknowingly became part of something bigger, a community bound by friendship, empowerment, and the unspoken magic that brought them together. Nia's tale was just one of many, filled with lessons about strength, resilience, and the power of connection. And just like that, I have more morally filled stories to tell you, each one carrying its own message of hope, growth, and inspiration. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe so you won't miss the next one. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell because I want you to be the first to hear the next chapter. Your likes and support inspire me to continue sharing these stories, and I can't wait to bring you even more. Thank you for being part of this journey.